Power, when it is secure, speaks softly and is often mistaken for silence. The Mask of Composure. Among modern monarchies, none lives under brighter scrutiny than Britain's. Yet amid this glare, Prince William remains a paradox. Visible but elusive, warm yet distant. To millions, he's the steady heir. To those inside the palace, he's the strategist who understands that silence can be a form of strength. Every public gesture is calculated. A handshake held just long enough, a smile rehearsed to appear spontaneous. His composure isn't habit, it's armor forged through loss and training. The man who once walked behind his mother's coffin learned early that privacy must be defended, not granted. The art of visibility. William doesn't fight the media, he outmaneuvers it. He knows the monarchy's survival depends on controlling tone more than message. Each appearance is a crafted micro-story. Warmth, purpose, exit. No improvisation, no risk. Like his grandmother, he learned that mystery isn't secrecy, it's selective revelation. Critics call him cautious, admirers call him measured. Both are right. In an era where every emotion becomes public property, William treats restraint as his greatest weapon. The quiet discipline. Those who work with him describe temperature control. Meetings are brisk, words exact. He listens first, summarizes last. Where his father seeks consensus, William seeks clarity. Efficiency is his default. He runs the royal diary like an operations board. One purpose, one message, no drift. Behind closed doors, humor flickers through. He mimics accents, teases staff, laughs easily, but only when the doors are closed. The moment duty intrudes, the heir returns, voice steady, spine straight. Inheritance of silence. His most valuable inheritance isn't a crown, it's composure. The late queen ruled through ritual silence. William refines it through strategy. When scandal strikes, he doesn't argue, he outlasts. Every unanswered question preserves the institution's mystique. In a monarchy, debate equals decay. The shaping years. The duality began in childhood. Diana's warmth gave him empathy. Royal protocol gave him restraint. He became fluent in both affection and formality, learning to smile while calculating consequences. Eton taught invisibility. The military taught discipline. Flying rescue missions in storms reshaped him. Duty stopped being ceremonial. It became operational. From then on, he treated royal engagements like sorties. Objectives, timing, risk management, the circle of trust. Unlike his father's sprawling network, William keeps a tight inner circle, 5 or 6 people bound by discretion. Meetings are brief, outcomes measurable. Mistakes are studied, not punished. Disloyalty is met with quiet exclusion. Inside that circle, his reputation is twofold, demanding but fair. He rarely raises his voice, but silence from him speaks volumes. A withheld text can convey more disappointment than a reprimand ever could. Domestic fortress. At home, discipline becomes rhythm. Family life with Catherine runs like a quiet system. Early mornings, limited staff, school runs when possible. Their Windsor move was not cosmetic, it was tactical. Less London spectacle, more controlled proximity to legacy. Together, they've built a brand of relatable normality that feels spontaneous, but is engineered with care. Catherine's calm steadies him. Their partnership is both affection and institution. Two people aligned in one strategic mission, survival by sincerity. Shadows of brotherhood. No exploration of William's psyche escapes the gravity of his brother. The rift isn't just emotional, it's philosophical. For William, loyalty equals confidentiality. For Harry, truth equals exposure. In that collision, William chose silence, the ultimate act of royal obedience. He sees leaks and public confession not as rebellion, but betrayal of covenant. For him, the monarchy's credibility rests on discretion. When he stays quiet, it's not detachment, it's doctrine. The hidden rebellion. His rebellion is not in defiance but design. He's dismantling archaic systems quietly, trimming the number of working royals, streamlining charities, digitizing operations. Older courtiers whisper that he's turning Buckingham Palace into a spreadsheet. He considers that a compliment. Every meeting ends with data, impact, efficiency, cost. For William, monarchy must prove relevance through results. Sentiment no longer sustains crowns, structure does, the long game. He plays the long game, one aide said. Every decision is a bet on the next decade. William measures legacy in years, not headlines. Each silence, each delay, each understated gesture contributes to one central mission: to modernize monarchy without making it look modern. The cameras see calm. Inside, there's constant calculation. A man balancing the ghost of Diana with the weight of history, crafting a new kind of crown made of patience and precision. Modernization by stealth. Every generation of Windsors faces the same test. How far can you move an ancient structure before it breaks? William's answer is a study in paradox. Alter the machinery, protect the myth. Within the walls of Windsor and Kensington, the change feels almost corporate. Calendars once filled with ceremonial handshakes are now dotted with strategy reviews. His office uses performance dashboards more familiar to business analysts than courtiers. Key metrics, public impact indexes, carbon tallies. To outsiders, this looks soulless. To William, it's insurance. He believes a monarchy that cannot measure its usefulness will one day be asked why it exists at all. Efficiency to him is empathy in disguise, proof that taxpayers' money isn't wasted on nostalgia. He calls it modernization by stealth, slow enough not to frighten the loyalists, firm enough that no one can undo it once it's in motion. The media equation. William's relationship with the press is a chess match played in permanent daylight. He learned early that you can't win by hiding, you win by defining the board. Instead of declaring war on tabloids, he re-engineered supply, controlled access, curated images, predictable photo opportunities. All of it creates a rhythm that feeds demand without surrendering intimacy. In return, he gains breathing room, fewer ambushes, less frenzy. When a scandal elsewhere in the family threatens contagion, his strategy is displacement. While headlines chase drama, his schedule fills with quiet community visits, environmental briefings, school appearances. Within 48 hours, new pictures circulate. William in rolled-up sleeves, Catherine smiling with children. The contrast itself becomes a story. It's media aikido. Use the energy of chaos to broadcast calm. Inside the palace resistance, not everyone is convinced. Older courtiers whisper that the heir is too managerial, that spreadsheets cannot replace ceremony. One once sighed, he wants to turn the palace into an NGO. William listens, nods, and proceeds unchanged. He knows every institution resists reform until reform becomes routine. So he waits them out methodically. Vacancies go unfilled, old titles quietly retired. Within 2 years, the structure adapts because it has no choice. Younger aides, graduates, analysts, veterans, thrive under this tempo. They call him the captain. He rewards precision, not flattery. Meetings start on time, end early, and always conclude with a clear order. Tell me what changes on the ground. To traditionalists, that sentence sounds alien. To William, it's the entire point of monarchy in a modern world. The emotional economy. Beneath the planning spreadsheets runs a vein of deep feeling. He just hides it well. During hospital visits, he often stays longer than scheduled, speaking quietly to parents, asking names, memorizing them for follow-up notes later. Staff notice he never leaves a ward without washing his hands and standing still for a few seconds. Small ritual, private reset. After such visits, he becomes withdrawn, replaying faces in silence. Catherine recognizes the look. She steers conversation gently elsewhere. He carries the day home, one aide said. Then he files it away. His emotional life is tidy, not empty. He processes grief like logistics. Catalog, assess, contain. It's how he survived his mother's death. It's how he leads now. The family equation. At home, modernization turns domestic. The Wales household feels more like a disciplined research lab than a court. Devices switch off at dinner. Staff know which hours are sacrosanct for family time. The children are encouraged to fail publicly. Sports days, school plays, muddy knees. William's rule is simple. They must see normal before they represent it. He wants them to understand service not as birthright, but as choice. That philosophy shapes everything, from the eco-friendly uniforms they wear to the short, carefully monitored media appearances that remind Britain that royalty can still look recognizably human. He's crafting heirs who will not need to pretend empathy. They will have lived it, the heir and his father. The partnership between King Charles III and his son is professional, polite, and occasionally tense. Charles, the artist king, likes big ideas and long letters. William prefers blueprints and deadlines. Where his father drafts essays, William writes action lists. Yet their bond has deepened since the king's illness became public. The heir has stepped in with quiet authority, handling briefings, smoothing communications, ensuring the machinery of monarchy continues to hum. Insiders describe the shift as a rehearsal carried out in real time. Father and son represent 2 centuries of monarchy in transition. The dreamer handing tools to the builder. The unseen demands. Tabloids speak of secret demands, imagining temper tantrums. The reality is colder, more procedural. William demands transparency. He has ordered every department of the royal household to publish annual summaries, travel emissions, charitable impact, expenditures. He insists that every new initiative includes measurable outcomes. When told some traditions cannot be costed, he reportedly replied, "Then find new traditions." His most controversial order was the audit of royal properties for environmental compliance. Solar panels at Sandringham, insulation upgrades at Windsor, fleet conversion to electric vehicles. The symbolism is deliberate. If the monarchy preaches sustainability, it must practice it first. These are not whims, they are doctrine. Behind every quiet instruction lies a principle. Credibility through consistency, the cost of control. But precision has a price. His aides speak of exhaustion, born not of workload, but vigilance. The perpetual awareness that a mistimed smile or stray remark can ignite global coverage. He reviews speeches deep into the night, annotates briefing papers with neat marginalia, sometimes rewriting paragraphs in his own hand. Detail saves trust, he once told his team. That mantra governs everything from wardrobe color palettes to seating charts. There are consequences: sleeplessness, occasional irritability, long silences that settle over the household after intense tours. Catherine shields him when she can, enforcing family rituals. Walks, laughter, stillness. She is not just partner, but stabilizer. The one person who can remind the heir that humanity, not optics, is the point. The hidden humor. Yet even under pressure, humor survives. William's wit is bone-dry, often self-directed. He jokes about the absurd repetition of ceremonial props, another plaque, another spade, and about his children's unfiltered honesty. During one engagement, a boy asked if being a prince was boring. William leaned down and whispered, "Sometimes. Don't tell anyone." The room erupted in laughter. Headlines the next day called it a rare, candid moment. But those who know him say it wasn't rare at all, just briefly visible. Laughter is his release valve, proof that composure isn't suppression, but calibration. The quiet philosopher. Late at night he reads philosophy, leadership psychology, military memoirs. The Stoics are favorites: Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, thinkers who turned chaos into discipline. Their sentences echo his own approach. Control the response, not the world. This intellectual interiority surprises many who assume practicality equals simplicity. But behind the clipped speech patterns lies reflection. He keeps notebooks of ideas on reform, on climate, on fatherhood, none intended for publication. They are blueprints for a kingdom not yet his. The digital crown. William's modernization extends into cyberspace. He has pushed for a consolidated digital platform uniting royal communications, data, and public outreach. Algorithms track misinformation spikes. Teams respond with verified content rather than denial. He views social media as infrastructure, not entertainment. If people meet us there, we must behave as we would at the gates of Buckingham, respectfully, he told his staff. The goal isn't popularity, it's presence. In a fragmented media world, consistency is the new charisma. The crown as architecture. He is building brick by unseen brick, a self-sustaining institution. His grandmother preserved monarchy through dignity. his father through vision. William aims to preserve it through design, efficient, transparent, defensible. He sees the crown not as ornament, but as structure, one that must periodically renovate itself to avoid collapse. Tradition to him is maintenance, not stagnation. That pragmatic faith may be his most radical inheritance, the human equation. For all the systems and strategy, those closest to him insist he remains profoundly human. His compassion surfaces in the smallest gestures, a hand on a shoulder, a note sent days after a visit. He remembers names not for publicity, but because people's stories stick. That memory is double-edged. It drives empathy, but also guilt. He carries too many faces in his mind, too many reminders of expectation. Sometimes he goes quiet mid-conversation, eyes unfocused, lost in recollection. Catherine lets him drift, then gently reels him back with humor or a child's interruption. The public mirror. William is, in many ways, Britain made flesh, cautious, resilient, wry, allergic to extremes. The country sees itself in his restraint and hopes for itself in his steadiness. He embodies a national temperament, emotion contained, faith expressed through endurance. That resonance explains his popularity more than charisma ever could. The weight of tomorrow. Heirship today is a form of captivity dressed as privilege. Every movement is archived, every silence interpreted. William accepts the surveillance as price of continuity, yet privately he wonders how much privacy a monarch can lose before the myth collapses entirely. He doesn't seek adoration, he seeks equilibrium, a state where monarchy neither dominates nor disappears, but simply earns its keep. To achieve that balance requires patience bordering on faith, and faith in his vocabulary is just long-term strategy. The final reflection. Power rarely looks like power. Sometimes it looks like restraint or repetition or a calm face in a storm. Prince William's hidden personality is not the mystery of a man concealing emotion. It's the discipline of one curating continuity. He has turned survival itself into an art form, silence as structure, composure as currency, humor as quiet rebellion. The world keeps demanding confession. He keeps offering steadiness. And perhaps that's the greater revelation, that in an era addicted to exposure, the truest radical act is privacy. He will not be the loudest king Britain has ever known, but he may be the one who lasts the longest, not because he remakes the crown, but because he learns at last how to carry it lightly.